up, guys? Juggalo here, and welcome to PC News You Can Use. Basically, again, gotta work that 2 to 10 last night, and yeah, really didn't have time to do everything I want to do, so hopefully I can upload this by the time I have to go to work. It is 11:25 right now, or 11:21. I have to be at work at 2, but I have to leave at 1:30, so hopefully I can upload this and everything by the time I leave for work. If not, you'll see it tonight. Alright, we have NZXT announces the special edition of the Switch 810, and basically they're going to have different colors for it and everything. It's going to be matte black and gunmetal at the NZXT store. It's going to be $179.99, and here's a picture of it, like so. So here you go. I know a lot of people have been saying this is a really good water cooling case and everything. You can fit a rad inside, a rad at the bottom, and everything like that. Alright, next up we have, I guess it's going to be pronounced Xilence, releases the new XQ series power supplies, and this is definitely an interesting power supply in my opinion, just because of the design. You never see a design like this. They're generally just a box with a fan at the bottom and or top, depending on how you look at the PSU. But here it is right here. Check that out. It's curved. It has 2 fans, and let me see if I can scroll down a little bit so you guys can see it. There you go. They have 2 connections for the motherboard, probably 120 and then 124. You have PCI Express. You have CPU connectors, 2 of them. You have SATA, 4-pin Molex peripheral connectors on it. So here it is right here. Another design. There you go. There's a PCB right there. There we go again. So that is pretty cool. It's gonna go for, hopefully I can find it. If not, it doesn't say. But anyways, they're gonna have a 850 watt, then a 750 watt. I found it. It's gonna be 189 euro or 179 euros, so it might be $189 to 200 for the 850, and then probably 180 to 190 for the 750 watt. And it's platinum certified, which is the 850, and also gold certified to 750 watts. So that's pretty cool. If anybody has experience with these power supplies, please let me know. Next up, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 does not need a new engine to advance graphics. Treyarch insists. Basically what they're saying, they're just trying to improve the engine itself without making a new engine. But at the same time, you have to look how old this engine is. I think it was built around in 1999, and it says it's a heavy modified version of the ID Tech 3 engine. Well, at the same time, you say you don't need to improve it, but your engine is pretty much obsolete, and there's a lot better engines out there that you can use to make the game more realistic, feel more immersive into it, and everything like that. So I suggest getting a new graphics engine, but then again, some people just buy it for the gameplay, not for the graphics. So unless you're a graphics whore, you know, kind of deal. And I saw this coming a long time ago. Basically, Apple is going to Kaspersky. If I pronounce that wrong, I'm totally apologetic about that. But basically, Apple is going to them to say, what can we do to make our operating system more basically stable, as far as not being vulnerable to attacks and everything like that. Like, Apple products, as far as their operating system, has never been secure. It's just until recently that people are finally saying, hey, they don't have any protection on it, let's go ahead and attack them, steal people's information, embed the codes, take everything, get the bank codes or whatever, router numbers and all that, and take people's money. So Apple's finally saying, hey, yeah, we do need help, and they're going to Kaspersky to get help. Next up, we have AMD launches the 2nd generation series APUs. It said they were going to have a 25% increase in CPU performance, and then I think a 50% in GPU performance. So we'll have to see how that goes, how reviews are going. It's going to be the AMD Pile Driver CPU, and here's a picture of it right here of the die, and then they have the architecture and how it works, like so. And here are the core layouts, the GPU, and they're telling you what's new and everything like that. New dual channel DDR3 memory controller, new AMD HD media accelerator, new unified Northbridge Islands AMD Radeon GPU, new up to 4 pile driver cores with 2 megabytes L2 cache, it looks like, HDMI DisplayPort 1.2, DVI controllers, PCI Express I/O, 24 lanes optical, digital display interfaces. So that's new, and that's a lot. I have to say, that's a lot of stuff you're implementing into a new CPU compared to your bulldozer, which supposedly should have been the flagship at the time, I should say. So here's some more pictures. Here's some what else it does, AMD's accelerated video converter and what it does. And here's some specs and everything. They're going to be coming out with notebook and then ultra thin notebook APUs and everything like that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see some reviews to see if they are going to be way better than bulldozer, that's for sure. Next up, I talked about this, saying they're about to release this RAM. Now they're finally releasing it. Team launches Xtream DDR3 3000 megahertz RAM. They have a 8 gig, which would be a 4 gig times 2, and they should have a 16 gig as well. So let me see what they got for latency, or I think this is just a 4 gig by 2, excuse me, sorry about that. The CAS is going to be 11, 13, 13, 35, 8 layers PCB, lifetime warranty. It's going to be for your desktop, of course. 240 pin unbuffered DIMM non-ECC. RAM density is 256 by 86. And then data transfer bandwidth is 24,000 megabytes per second, or megabits per second. Alright, next up we have Zalman, excuse me, Readies 3 CNPS series coolers, more or less. What do we have here? Hopefully you can see that. If not, check out the link below. But wow, this is really small, and I'm sorry about that. But basically they're coming out with an all-in-one cooler, and it looks exactly like an Antec PNY Corsair AMD Intel all-in-one cooler. Why is that? It's because ASRock makes the coolers, then companies just rebrand them. So basically, if you want an all-in-one cooler, just get the one that costs the least amount of money. They'll perform around the same. So there you go. They're releasing some new coolers and everything like that. And then next up, EVGA launches the 610, the 620, and 630. The 630 is going to pack 96 cores, 1 gig of GDR3 memory, clocked at 800 megahertz, 1.6 gigahertz GDR3 effective over a 128-bit wide memory interface. And basically the G120 has a little bit less, and then the G10 has a little bit less. More or less, these graphics cards are going to be really meant for the HT-PC, like if you just want a home theater PC kind of deal. Not really a heavy game cruncher, you know, maybe a little light gaming, but not like playing Battlefield 3 on ultra settings or anything like that. So this is for like if you want to make a HTC PC, you'll be good to go on that. Alright, now next up, Diablo 3 news. A lot of people were, excuse me, pardon my language, pissed off at Blizzard. Why? Because the first day Diablo 3 servers were crashing, and some people were complaining, well, I took a day off because I wanted to play Diablo 3, but in my opinion, why would you take a day off knowing the game just came out and knowing how many millions of people got this game? There are going to have some hiccups when a new game launches, especially if it was anticipated for like 10 to 11 years for a new game like this to come out. So it's kind of expected that you're going to have a hiccup and crashing in the servers and everything. The only thing I don't like is that you have to be online 24/7, regardless of if you're trying to do the first player and just play like that. You have to be online. If you're a multiplayer, yeah, you do have to be online, but as far as first player, why do you have to be online? I quite don't understand that, but oh well, that's how it goes. Alright, next up, ASRock launches the Z77 Xtream 9 motherboard. I know I talked about this probably in the past and everything like that. So here's some pictures of it, and it's a really huge picture apparently, and looks like you get a little drive bay for your USB 3.0 to put that in front of the case if you want. You get 2, 4, 6, 8. So you have basically 10 USB 3.0s total. You have 8 in the back, it looks like, which is a lot. A lot of people love them USB connections, I guess. And then here's another picture right here. So, and let me go ahead and see the price point for you guys. It's going to be, it said prices could exceed $450, which is a lot. So that's about the price of a EVGA X79 classified motherboard, is roughly $450. So you can do 3-way SLI and 4-way SLI. Has 3.0 times 16 slots, I would hope so. Let's see, 8+2 channel HD audio, 2 gigabit Ethernet interfaces. It has Wi-Fi built in too. It has a Bluetooth, it has Firewire, so pretty much this motherboard is loaded with features, that's for sure. $450. We'll see how that goes and see how the motherboard performs and everything like that. Alright, let's see what's next up. Okay, this was supposed to be specs detailed about Kepler GK110, but it looks like the NDA got a hold of them, and therefore they had to take it down. So that's awesome. Sorry about that. Next up, we have Kodak had a nuclear reactor loaded with enriched uranium hidden in the basement in their headquarters in Rochester, New York, I believe. They had 3.5 pounds of enriched uranium, the same kind of uranium they use in atomic warheads. Talk about world domination, Kodak. Why were you keeping that? They said the police didn't know, the fire department didn't know. No one knew about this, that they had this amount in Rochester, New York, but an employee did leak a picture right here, and that's where it was stored at, right underneath the facility, kept in a secret area. So thank you. And then you have Kodak, what the fuck, pretty much, that's what it stands for. Again, sorry for my language, but that's just funny as crap in my opinion. Why are you going to carry 3.6 pounds of enriched uranium? Basically, you can use that to knock out a city if you really wanted to, kind of deal. So, I'm sorry I said the F word, but that's what it stands for, WTF, and wow. All I can say is wow, Kodak. World domination to the extreme, I guess, for you guys. Alright, next up, we have Intel gives IT more options with new Intel Xeon processors and all that stuff. Pretty much they're saying that they're coming out with more Xeon processor, be more efficient, and yada 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 kind of stuff. That's what it's saying it's doing. It's expanding its Xeon line, and I really don't want to bore you with that. Alright, next up we have Best Buy, Best Buy founder, chairman steps down after investigation. Well, of course, with Best Buy, basically, I'm thinking around 2015 or 14, or maybe sooner, Best Buy will be going out of business. Why? Because they just suck. Most employees, I'm not saying all, most employees do not know about their products. They're reading right off the line. They try to oversell or give a person that something they really don't need. So, so we'll see how this goes. But probably more or less he's under investigation with some money issues or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. Best Buy will be bye-bye by 2015. Get it? Alright, next up we have Cooling Master intros the Hyper 412 Slim CPU cooler with 3 new thermal compounds. Okay, here's a new cooler right here. Pretty much, this is going to be based off probably the Cooler Master 212, which did really good as far as a $30 cooler, and people were hitting really good overclocks and having really good temps with this kind of cooler. So it's going to probably be the same style of design of this cooler, but here it is right here. Okay, we have another picture. Let me get my fat butt out of the way, and then there you go. You're going to have direct heat pipes right there. Alright, so let's see, it's going to be suited for 2011 sockets due to its compact size. Now let's just see if they're going to say anything about the price. The price is going to be around $39.95. I don't know what that symbol means, I'm sorry. But pretty much it's going to probably be $40 to $45 here in the US. And then they have the IC Essential E1, IC Essential E2, and the IC Value V1, which is a their thermal compounds are coming out with. Basically, the main differences between these pastes can be found in the color and the thermal conductivity. So there you go. That's the difference between the thermal paste. No reviews have been done on the thermal paste at all. I haven't seen anything done on the cooler yet, so we'll have to see how that goes. Alright, next up we have BitPhoenix launches the Recon and Hydro Pro fan controllers. I believe they can handle up to 30 watts per channel, which nowadays, in my opinion, that's pretty low. And the reason why I'm saying that 30 watts is pretty low is because you have the gentle typhoons like the 5400 RPM fans. They take at least 32 watts to start up the fan itself. So I would like to see manufacturers bump up their standard 30 watt to do 40 to 50 watt without charging the consumer more money. I know it's kind of weird how I'm saying it, or it doesn't make sense, but in my opinion it really does make sense, because a lot of people are putting some really high-end fans in there, and this fan controller, depending on how it's built and everything, it might not be able to handle it. Yes, it's 32 watts for that fan, but can the fan controller up the 2 watts it needs to support that fan and still be fine and run continuously and be reliable over time? So this is just my opinion. We have one fan controller here. It has touchscreen, it looks like, and then you have the standard right here. It uses sliders instead of knobs and everything like that. Alright, and then there's another picture. Pretty pictures everywhere. So there you go. Excuse me, sorry about that. Alright. The Recon is going to cost $34 in Europe, $39 in North America, and will be available at the following retailers next week. So this week, Performance PCs and Canada Computers. And then in Europe is going to be listed Australia. So there you go. If you want that fan controller, you're going to have to go to Performance PCs if you are in the United States to get this. And if you are interested in looking at getting it in Canada, they have websites in Australia as well. So let's see if this website right here talks about NVIDIA. Okay. It's not the one I want to talk about, but hey, basically NVIDIA is going to be readying up the GK104 base GTX 680 for Computex, and this will be their mobile processor. So it'll be the GPU M, and this is the performance score they got was 4,905. And then I'm assuming here this is a die shot on a computer. It is from Chip Hell. So there you go if you guys are interested in that. Okay, EVGA undertakes mini recall of the GTX 670 superclocked. Owners will get for the win as replacements. Basically, they had a problem with their quality assurance for the GTX 670 superclocked, and as a sorry or apology to the consumers who bought the faulty products who weren't quality assurance approved or whatever, they're going to get for the win boards as replacements. So there you go, guys. If you have a 670 SC by EVGA, it will have the model number 02G TAC P3 TAC 2672 TAC KR. Those are the cards that were not properly screened. So again, 02G P3 2672KR were the models that weren't properly screened. Call up EVGA and they'll set you up with a replacement as soon as possible. Okay, guys? Alright, here we go. GK110. I love it. Alright, again, this is probably just going to be some, thinking or just predicting what it might have, what it might not have kind of deal, unfortunately, because there isn't a set date for this. But GK10 supposedly is going to have 2,880 CUDA cores with 384-bit memory interface. And here's a die shot right here. This is from Beyond 3D forum. And here you go. And there's the goodness right there. All that awesomeness. So this might be an actual die shot, or this could be a, they're predicting what it's going to be, how it's going to be designed and everything like that. So a lot of this stuff is kind of speculation, so take it with a grain of salt. So that's why I am just saying take it with a grain of salt, and it says we found one of these most plausible. So predicting, unfortunately. Alright, next up we have Razer comes out with Ouroboros, I guess that's how you pronounce it, and it's going to be outed by the FCC, and it transforms to fit lefties. Basically, you're going to have a plastic part that you're able to just swap over or change over so left-handed people can use it. Let me see if I can make this picture a little bit bigger. Fortunately, it doesn't do that. It just goes right back to that article. So let me see if I can go ahead and click and see view image. And there you go. Here it is itself. This is what it looks like. It almost looks like the cat. I don't know the name of the mouse is, but it's like the Rack Cat or something like that. I forgot the name of the manufacturer. So it kind of looks like that. Next up, Ava Direct releases the HD 7970M for gaming notebooks. So if you guys like AMD and you want to get the 7970 for notebooks, so it'll be available pretty soon. And let's see some of the features. It's going to be the family's Wimbledon XT pixel shaders, 1280 core speed is 850 megahertz shader speed, 850 megahertz, pretty much they're linked. Let's see, memory speed is going to be 1200 megahertz, memory bus is going to be 256, and of course it's going to support DirectX 11. So we should be seeing this between 2 to 3 weeks, taking over the market with new laptops and everything like that. Next up, ADATA adds DDR3 2133X 8 gig and 16 gig dual channel kits to XPG Xtream series. Let's see. Latency is going to be 10, 11, 11, 30, allowing for predicted bandwidth up to 34.1 gigabytes per second, 1.65 volts. The 8 gig kit is going to cost you around $90, $95. 16 gig kit is going to cost you $189 or $190 if you round it up. So yeah. DDR4 needs to come out. Alright, next up we have GSkill. Remains the most popular DDR3 brand at HW. Bought since 2011 Q4. Pretty much they're saying, hey, a lot of overclockers that are on our forums or HW bot that do overclocking, benching, everything to prove and show your system to the world, and you get points through HW bot. If you don't know what that is, a lot of people are using these products for overclocking and everything like that. So, and this shows you like their shares and everything like that, and how many people are actually using it, all that good stuff. Alright, next up we have Borderlands 2 Special Edition Detailed. Pretty much, if you get the super uber duper coolness and you want to have everything, this is going to be the Ultimate Loot Chest Limited Edition, and more than likely it's only going to be available for the 360 or the PS3. Sorry PC, you're out of luck. That's how it usually goes. You're going to have the standard game that's probably going to run $60. Pretty much that's all Xbox games is around $60 when they first come out. You have the Deluxe Vault Hunters Collector's Edition. It's $100. And then the Ultimate Loot Chest Limited Edition is going to be $150. And I'm not seeing if I can blow this up or not for you guys. So let me see if I can click View Image. And there you go. You get a bobblehead, you get game desk, you get a special book, you get stickers, you get a whole bunch of stuff. And this is the $150 one right here. So if you guys are interested and want to blow some money, get the limited edition. I know a lot of people are probably going to get it for PC anyway, so we'll just spend $60, save some cash. Alright, next up we have Ivy Bridge packing new heat emissions decreased from 95 to 77 watts. Now a lot of people are just saying all they did was just slap a sticker on it. So we'll actually see if this is true or not. You know, just because this just came out last week. I'm trying to find the date on it. Unfortunately, this article is translated from Japanese into American, I believe, or a language I have no idea how to understand it. So I'm sorry about that, but there we go for Intel. Pretty much saying, hey, we improved emissions, but how do you improve emissions in such a short period of time? So I'm thinking they just said, oh, instead of 95, let's put 77 watts like we said before, and then the customer will find out it's really 95 still. So we'll see how that goes. Let me move my table out of the way, but keep in tuned in my channel. I'm gonna have some probably painting tutorials on how to paint your PC for the upcoming Star Wars AT build I'm going to be doing. I got my buddy Mike. He said he would be interested in helping me out modding it because he and I love to collaborate together and build PCs and everything like that. So I have another party that wants to help me out, so that would be great. So thanks guys for watching PC News You Can Use. Thank you for your support, and as always, comment, subscribe, rate this video, click that like button. You guys have a great day. Bye.